I finished that project ages ago.
I know, but it's still a funny word.
And nobody knows what we're talking about. Hi, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
This is the farm where we grow cross-stitch.
One stitch at a time.
If you ask us in the comments below, Laura will tell you what we were talking about.
He made a fun. He said a funny.
Anyways, I'm weird.
He's weird. Today is Sunday, May 15th. How are y'all? We're filming on Sunday. Ladies Guild meeting is tomorrow night. Monday. It'll be the last one for the summer, so summer will be on normal Monday schedule. How's everybody been? Y'all doing? We're doing good. It was a good week. It was a hot week.
No, my arms hurt.
That's what she said. If you know, you know. We got last fall. We got a big old tractor tire, like a big farm tractor tire from my parents, and we filled it with dirt this weekend to put some resurrection lily bulbs in it. I don't have bulbs in it yet because I still got a little bit of time. But so Joey here is tired because he.
Although that's actually not the main reason why I'm tired.
Why are you tired?
Because carrying around that flipping weed whacker for a half hour the way I was is exhausting.
He also started prepping our pool spot, so
I'm modifying it, digging it flat because it's actually just. You're only supposed to have a max of 2-inch per the length, the 14-foot diameter of the pool. We have a 4, and I'm a dork, so I'm actually going to dig out all 4 and use a level.
The pool was like this last summer. It was
and hilarious. Unfortunately, the spot that was high up is where the filter was, so we had to keep the pool overfilled so that the filter would run. Not that Mother Nature had any problem keeping that pool filled.
No, Mother Nature definitely kept the pool filled last summer.
I had to drain water out of that thing so many goddamn times. It wasn't even funny.
Yeah. So that's been our week. Like I said, it's hot, so if car noises, it's relatively quiet back here. Probably what you're going to hear more is if the kids in the neighborhood go outside to play and start screaming and hollering.
As a car drive by.
That's motorcycle. Yep, that's a motorcycle. We do get motorcycles because there is a veterans bar a few doors down that way from us. It happens. So, excuse the noise. Obviously, we don't have our AC system put in yet. So
we don't even have the quote for the freaking thing yet.
Well, hopefully we get it this week. Grumpy Bumpy.
When I'm hot, I'm grumpy. I'm hot, so I'm grumpy.
He's Grumpy Bumpy. Why don't you?
I'm also not. So today's the first day I got good sleep.
Why don't you shout out our viewership while I crack open this Coke?
Andre, Angie, Cheryl, Teresa, Bridget, Victoria, Margaret, and Lynn.
Thank you all so much for taking time to comment on our video last week. And also, those of you who watched and threw a comment on my video about the mystery box. I put up a real quick video about the mystery box, so I don't have to keep talking about it. I can just say, hey, go watch this video. I'll link it below. I used my brain. Angie helped. Angie helped a little.
You used Angie's brain.
Yes. Angie suggested I put like a shop update video up, and I'm like, well, that's actually a really good idea. I could just do one for the mystery update, mystery box, and there you go. So, excuse me. Do we want to go into whips now, or do we want to do
whips?
Whips. I'm so confused.
I'm not just confused. I'm broken. But I'm happy this way.
Whips.
Oh, dos.
Take two.
Yeah, technical difficulties with non-stitching related products that made weird noises, and I commented, and then Laura in her my pretty toy better not be breaking hit the wrong button.
Anyways.
No big deal.
Whips.
Funny way of putting it. Yard work.
That was his whip.
Hey, I got the sidewalks trimmed because I tried to use the weed whacker 2 weeks ago, and I ran out of line and realized, I don't have any more.
But we ordered some, and now you have plenty.
Yeah, so that's actually, as a lot of people will be able to tell you, the first good mowing when you weed whack all the sidewalks, that's just a rat knife.
It usually is, because people usually try to put it off. Or they have to put it off because it's just too dang on wet. I know around here there's a lot of, you kind of have to put off that first mowing because it's wet and all of a sudden you have grass everywhere.
Yeah.
I've done some weed pulling in flower beds. I'm working on it. So Joe has got no whips. No whip. No work done this week. I'm sorry.
I mean, literally, my arms right now are so tired. I don't think I could cross stitch.
I don't have my stitch counts written down because I was kind of having a slow week too because I had a lot of work to do with the ONS. I just don't have them written down. So, I mean, I'll write them down for future reference for a later date. Not that I really use them for future reference, but they're just not written down for this week. I'm sure y'all don't care. We will start with
Evil incarnate.
this project. I think no, I only used this for weeklies this week. I am missing one color of floss for this, and let me tell y'all. Like, I'm like, oh, it's just in the words. It's not that big of a deal. No, it's like all over in the chart. I'm like, last night I was like, forget this. I'm just going to wait until I go to Joanne. I'll be over by Joanne Fabrics tomorrow because of Stitchy meetup. I'm just going to put a pause on it until I can get to Joann's and get that floss. Because I want to get the sewing machine back stitched. Can't do that until I get the floss. It's in the quilt blocks, so it's making it hard. So, and yes, I could work on the border because it's not in the border.
Which will be okay.
I realized that just now. It's not in the border. I could do the border, work on the border.
Please take a break from the evil project that makes you want to murder things.
It hasn't been too bad. The only thing is I'm not super happy with how my stitches look.
You're stitching in a style you're not used to stitching.
So here we are. That's the whole project. Mine is a little singer thing down here. A little block with the sewing machine.
I just realized what needle minder you're using.
Yes, I'm using my singer machine. I did that on purpose. I'm just not happy with my stitches. They don't look great to me.
Looks
But
okay
other than
to me.
that, it's not going too bad until I have to frog. I'm being careful so I don't hurt the frog. Because frogging sucks. I used this for Maui Week. Something with flowers, something that had 3 or more colors in an object. All of those objects have 3 or more colors in them. Something that's been in progress for more than 11 months. It's technically been in progress since I think 2019. Either 2020 or 2019. Though I'm pretty sure she started it in late 2019. So I'm just taking a break until tomorrow. Probably until Tuesday. On it. Might save my sanity a little bit. We shall see. Okay. Stitch on your tallest whip. I had to. I know. Y'all, I know I said I'm not gonna like repeat work until on a whip until I get through the whole list of whips. I reserve. There's something wrong with that light. Don't worry. We know. I reserve the right to change that if like there's a prompt where it's like this one. My tallest whip. This is my tallest whip at 24 inches tall. You just have to. I mean, or there was something else that I was like, I want to go back to that sooner rather than later. But I'm gonna try really hard not to stitch on anything until I
Unless you have absolute prompts.
Unless I absolutely feel it necessary. So, this is Lady with Dog. She's a DesignWorks kit. She is on the 14 count fabric. I did a couple hundred stitches on her, mostly the doggy. We call this Laura and Bandy. I'm actually, well, I have to bead her, there's beading on her collar. But pretty much the dog, and then there's a leash with a decorative thing.
We should have you and your mom work together to make you a frilly dress like that, and you and Bandy take a picture in front of that stitch after you FFO it.
I have a 1930s-ish dress. We made a glam Hollywood dress. I have it somewhere. I think it still fits my fat butt.
I just think that would be a very funny way of showing it's done.
Yes. Okay, stitch on your largest whip. Well, my biggest whip is 700 stitches by 500 stitches. It is General Store from Haid, artwork by Amy Stewart.
Heaven and Earth design.
Yes, Heaven and Earth design.
By the way, is it called Heaven and Earth just because it literally takes up the heaven and the earth in order to fit this thing?
I don't know. But,
I thought you were switching fabric.
I did. The 25 count was driving me nuts. I was not wanting to stitch on this. So, I got 20 count Ada.
Oh my God.
It is a full yard.
You want to know one thing I'm going to say right now? If I had known that stuff existed, Zelda would be done on that.
Uh-huh. And, so yeah. So, I did it's ginormous. It's a full yard of fabric. But here's the thing. I don't care. I don't care that it's ginormous. I don't care that it's huge. I don't care. What I care is that I want you to stitch on it now.
That's not what I'm worried about.
Where the hell are we going to put this?
I already know that. The wall that's shared with our bedroom in the craft room.
That would work.
Is it sad I came up with that in 10 seconds flat?
I haven't considered that at this point because it's 700 stitches by 500 stitches. Full coverage. Am I really going to get this done in my lifetime?
Yes.
I don't know. But I put 200 stitches on it. Can we see that? Yes. For my restart. And I can tell you that I want to stitch on this now. I enjoy stitching on this now. So guess what? It's going to be big and ginormous, and I don't care. And that's what I have to say about that.
I don't give a crud, and if anybody else does, don't comment below. You don't want my response. And you don't want the response of our loyal commenters either. Last time that happened.
Well, I can really tell you that I'm on the banner of you do you when it comes to your stitching.
If you want a bed sheet, you can have a bed sheet. Actually, this one's probably clever enough to turn it into a bed sheet.
Probably could.
Actually, that'd be a really nice thing for a back of a couch.
Not our couch, because our cat lays on there. Excuse me. Okay. So, okay. The other thing I stitched on, is I did some monthly stitches on that sewing machine one too. My peppermint purple Sal, because I stitch on this weekly because I want to get it done. So I got this block, and this block finished this week. And that was like 377 stitches. So I know that. It is my goal to get this done. I only have, like, the blocks that you see, that's what I have left to do.
Cool.
Is their filling in there. So, doing it, black is a pain, but I have a really good light. That helps. And it has a magnifier on it. That helps.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And honestly, it also helps that I'm only doing it in like 300 stitch blocks. Well, technically it's 600 stitches because back stitch only counts as half because you're not making one line, two lines. You're just making one line.
Makes sense.
So it makes sense.
Comment below if you want to know why I said you're welcome when you talked about the light. And if you do, I'll tell you next week.
Okay. And then today I've been stitching on cardinal points. It is my Long Dog Sampler Gentle Arts collab. This has been going towards monthlies for Daily 30. Daily 30s monthlies this month are right around prompts. So I probably will bust out another random prompt out of my brain and get another 300 stitches in on this. Although, I kind of like dragging it out because I'm enjoying stitching on it. I'm not going to lie, I really enjoy stitching on this. This is on a piece of Slovak Farm fabric that I can't tell you what it is anymore. I think it's Cleveland Crud, but this is before they changed up some of the dyes, so I'm not entirely sure I can get it this color again.
So it's BC, before change.
Yes. I basically finished this line and then put some grapes in. And we're getting there. We are getting there for sure. That's been my stitching for the week. Oh, you know what I haven't shown you guys in a while?
Her literal bed sheet.
No, it's not a bed sheet.
It's a blanket.
No, it's not. It's a wrap.
I thought we were halfway through the video.
Yeah. There. So I got through one ball of yarn, and right here is where the ball of yarn lasted. So it's not very long. But I did have a second ball of that yarn because I kind of figured out might happen. So I'm just gonna have the second ball, and so we're getting there on that. Okay, that's been my whips this week. That's been my stitching this week. Why don't we move on to haul?
Y'all.
Haul.
Y'all.
Y'all.
Yeehaw!
The new Fall on the Farm pattern showed up in the middle of the crazy that was the end of April, beginning of May in my life. And then I proceeded to forget about putting it on the thing. So, what?
I want to see when you're done showing it. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so there's that. Don't hold it up because of the pattern. And then somebody wanted to order some Bent Creeks. So, and the Bent Creek patterns that they wanted were not on the distributor. So I sent an email to Bent Creek and I said, hey, how do I set up a wholesale account? And they're like, well, you just tell us what you want and we'll send you the bill. Well, that was easy.
You mean people who want money?
Well, I mean,
do they have minimum orders?
No, and some designers do have minimum orders. primarily because that's one way of making sure that you're actually an ONS or an LNS, like that you're actually a shop. Or you have to order a minimum number of patterns, like Stitching with the Housewives, I have to order 3 each of their patterns if I order from them.
Which actually makes sense because it makes it more expensive to get a pattern from them than it does for a single person to.
Yes. So.
I just did that math in my head because I'm a dork.
Ben Creek just said, go ahead and tell us what you want and we'll send it to you. I mean, it came from my email address that I have everything associated with the Slovak Farm with, and I signed it the Slovak Farm. So, but I did order some stuff for myself along with her stuff because there's some Bent Creeks that I've wanted, and then one of the things she wanted, I was like, I have to have. So I got the 3 parts for the Patriotic Branch. I will show you this one because this is the 3rd part that's got the whole. And I'm not going to show you her stuff because it's her stuff to share. And then I got, this is Santa's Hat of Holly, and this is a full kit. So you get the pearl cottons, you get the, excuse me, I'm not sure what size fabric, what the fabric is. I'm not sure what the fabric size is because I can't. What the fabric count is because I can't see that part. I'm pretty sure it's an 18 count. But Ben Creek does a lot of kits where you get 18 count and you get pearl cotton and you do it over 2 on 18 count. So, and then as a thank you for my order, they sent me Thankful Quaker, which is actually a Bent Creek pattern that I wanted.
And it comes with a couple beads.
Yes. Most of these have buttons and beads of some type in them. That's another kind of Bent Creek hallmark. So, but I'm definitely going to start. These are going to have to go in the start pile. So that's all. Let's move on to plans and announcements. Plans and announcements.
One of my plans is also an announcement, so I think I'll hold off until later to tell you about it.
Okay.
And more yard work. I got to prep ground for a pool so that she can get dirt for her potting. No, I'm just saying that's hard work, so I'm not going to want to move my arms when I get done.
I know. I realized. I never made my post for this week's Daily 30 event, which is Museum Week. So, yeah. I don't know. Ooh, prompt 1. That contains a tower, crow, or raven. I'm going to have to bust out Raven Queen. I'm going to have to bust out Raven Queen.
That literally is a tower.
That contains a tower, a crow, or a raven. Although, I do have one of the Fall on the Farms has a crow on it. So I could do that.
Raven Queen.
But I haven't stitched on Fall on the Farm, and I want to. Spoiler alert, when I finish my Peppermint Purple Sal, I'm doing Fall on the Farm for my Sal offering.
Okay.
Stitch on a whip with a book or words or that contains an alphabet. Well, this has got words on it. There we go. Stitch on a whip with something you would find outdoors.
Flowers.
There's flowers on this, so I can use that. I got tons of stuff with flowers in it.
You also have a lot of outdoor scenes.
Stitch on a whip with a needlework theme.
Quilting. Cute squares. I mean, seriously.
Quilting would be considered needlework.
There's a giant machine with a needle in it.
Before the invention of a sewing machine, quilting was done by hand. There was a whole massive discussion this week about needlework and what qualifies as needlework and what qualifies as stitching, and
Moving on
We're
from
just
that
gonna move.
cesspool. Next.
And then a whip of your choice and talk about your favorite museum or one you would really like to visit. Do battlefields count as museums?
They usually have them.
I mean, because my favorite.
There is a museum in Gettysburg.
Yes.
And you can do One Nation.
Well, it's any whip. It's a whip of your choice.
I know. I'm just trying to help.
I know. Because, what's Laura's favorite museum?
Any museum with an antique store attached?
That's not a museum. It's a store.
No, but I can see a museum with an antique store attached.
I mean, but really? As much as it's like, okay, Gettysburg? Does that qualify as a museum? Cleveland has some phenomenal museums. The Museum of Art is amazing. The Museum of Natural History, the Botanical Gardens. Well, I don't know if that... Well, I guess that's a museum. There are some really nice museums in the Cleveland area. We even have a museum dedicated to Christmas. They don't call it a museum, but it's basically a museum. It's called Castle Noel. They have the RV from Christmas Vacation. They have the costumes from Elf. They have the slide. Higby's slide from Christmas Story. And they have a whole floor of the displays from Saks Fifth, the animatronic displays from Saks
Not that
Fifth
she
Avenue.
wants to go there or anything.
I want to go back.
When are we going?
I don't know, but I want to go back.
Okay, and what's next?
Okay, and then you're on to the bonus, the Sal prompt and the non-counting challenge. So
Okay.
So yeah, so I can fit this in.
Most of them.
Excuse me, most of them. So that'll be good. And there's enough there that, because I need to work on, I know I need to work on O Feathers. That was my other asterisk, to work on it to my whole list thing. I've already worked on O Feathers and Pumpkin Farm for this cycle, but those are my 2 letters of the month for this month. So those will get some stitches on them this month.
By the way, Pumpkin Farm, something that's outside.
And technically, O Feathers is a peacock. You're going to find a peacock outside.
If you find a peacock inside, you have a problem.
I mean, if you got a big enough barn.
No, I'm talking, when I say inside, I mean in a house. I don't count barns as inside. When the door is as big as the wall, or is bigger than my house, I don't consider it technically inside. It's still outside. It's just me, though. Like, I'm serious. I think I've actually seen barns that literally can fit our house through the front door.
This is very true.
Ooh.
I've always said that if I win the lottery, my lottery dream home will be a Barnwood Builders. Barnwood Builders is a show. They take down antique log cabins and antique timber frame barns. They put them back up for clients. You know, the whole interior, the finishing of it is done by somebody else, but they do the takedown and the put up. And I would buy an antique barn from them and I would turn it into my house.
Okay, next.
Next, we're on to announcements.
I had an idea.
God help me. I'm sorry. The way you did that, I couldn't resist. Go ahead.
I decided, since Laura was talking about how on her announcement video, check it out if you want to. Link below, right? Link below.
Yes, the video with all of the details from the mystery box is linked below.
When she was talking about all of the fabric she'd have to dye, I was like, you know what? Laura can teach me how to dye fabric. And then I was like, wait a minute, my birthday's in a month and a half. I know, I could dye a piece of fabric and give that piece of fabric away for a giveaway for my birthday.
You could. You could. If you want.
Well, that's what I want to do. And it'd probably be like 18 count Ada, or should we ask the person what they want? Have the contest, then have me die after the person.
And I gotta put some thought into this. When we get to that point, we'll get there.
So how should people enter? Just message you on Facebook?
Like, are you doing it right now, or are you doing it?
I figure it'd take a couple weeks.
We'll figure out entry and all of that and announce it in next week's video. Okay.
Well, comment below if you like anything, or if you want to pick something out. It's not gonna be that big of a piece of fabric.
It's gonna be a fat quarter. A fat quarter. We'll do a fat quarter. That's sufficient. Okay.
Hey, if I get good at it, I'll be able to help you dye your fabrics for you.
Yep.
Or check on them while I'm down there. Hey, can you give me a freeze pop and check on my fabric for me?
True story. Okay, so if you stuck around to the end last week, it's over there. We asked you for the keyword of journey to win for a chance to win Home for Christmas. So 5 of you gave me the keyword. Technically 6 of you did, but Anna said to go ahead and just pass it along to someone else. So 5 of you. Put in the random number generator. 1 to 5. I have you written down on my little list. 1 to 5. Let's see if I can do this backwards. Number 5. And number 5 is Margaret McGinnis. Please send me either an email or a message on the social media links linked below with your mailing address. Words are hard. And you will get Home for Christmas. There might be some writing on this. Apologize if there is. So, that is that. We've already done the video for the... We've already done the video for the okay, so we're done. Sorry. I went through that in my head. And
yeah. I'm getting people to start following me on Instagram. I guess I can just start using it now, don't I?
I guess you do.
Thank you for following me. I just said to the other people started following me on Instagram. I'm like, what the heck? It was actually Mad Morty's post. When she started following me, I'm like, wait a minute. She's from the... What?
Yes. She latches us.
Okay, well, I guess I need to start
commenting. She's my friend.
Stupid question about Instagram, and if anybody knows, including you, give me the answer. Can I take a picture of something on Instagram and then take that picture and if I forget to give it for a challenge? Can you take the picture out of it, Instagram, and save it onto your phone?
Yes, there's a way to do it.
Okay. Because I also remembered that I'm part of a Facebook group, and poor lovely lady who set up the Sims game, I completely forgot about it.
It's okay. We'll get you caught up. Don't worry.
And I haven't been stitching because, well, like this week, I have to mow the lawn again. And I've got to shovel stuff. And by the time I'm done, my arms are going to fall off.
I really want to start this. Okay, stop. I don't need to start more crap. This was supposed to be Start All the Stuffs weekend in March Madness, or March Mayhem. Guess you forgot. The person that's supposed to put it up. Oh, that'd be me. Oops. Supposed to do it next weekend. I've told y'all, my brain is shot after the end of April, beginning of May, 2 weeks.
Should we show them how much stuff you've been working on? Or no, because that's for somebody.
Oh, she will not care. Let me tell you. So this is what this week's project has been.
Yes, that is a bucket filled.
That is a bucket full of floss. I had to order like 100 and something, almost 200 some flosses.
That's a lot of writing up.
And I am so glad that the person that ordered it is the person that ordered it, because because it was like in the middle of the whole Witchelt taking a month to ship things. It showed up the week, I think it was like the Friday of the rummage sale. And then it took me like a week to get it into my Shopify system, because I started entering all the numbers and I'm going along, and I go to update it and it says, oh, you're only allowed to enter 100 variants on each listing. I had almost all of them put in. So the Sullivan's flosses are on the Shopify site. They are listed by, they're in 5 groups because there's 400 and some odd colors. So they're in 5 groups. I have, Sullivan's USA Floss A with what numbers it goes through, the DMC numbers it goes through. The DMC numbers are on the listing to make it easier for y'all. But that was the only way I could do it. So, of course, then I had to sort the flosses. I had to sort them into my box system, and I've had to pull them. And so I'm very glad, because she's like, I get it. It's a lot of work. And she's just being very chill about it. So.
Thank you.
So, I appreciate that.
Okay, end of the spiel time.
So, what do we want the people to do, honey?
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Please like, comment, subscribe, bell notification, dingy me bobby, all the YouTube stuff.
We appreciate you spending a little bit of your time with us this week. We hope to see you next week.
Bye, 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 bye.